So that's it? That's the story?
That's the story.
That's rough. What am I supposed to do now?
What you always do.
I can't fight him. He has powers. Wait a second. If he got powers from Ryujin, could I get powers from...
No.
What do you mean, no? You've seen what he can do. He electrocuted you. I can't go toe-to-toe to him if I don't have...
Abuse of power is what created this mess. I never gave them to you because you didn't need them. This isn't like Screamoji. This is a person identical to you in almost every way. The greatest weapon you can wield is your words.
Do you really think I can get through to him?
I do. And Kumar does as well.
I guess it's time for a recap.
It's part 4. Everyone who's stuck around this long has watched all the other episodes. Just put some annotations for them to click.
Well, hopefully you're all caught up by now. We just have to wait around for it. There's my doppelganger.
I am not a copy of you. This ends today. I will prove my Sentai superiority.
Yeah, I know the drill. So, what are the rules now that both of our co-hosts are here?
We will be the judges.
What?
How is that going to work?
We'll show you. We will? I just need Ryujin to come to our dimension.
No! Out of the question! This is obviously some trick.
Fine, I'll go over there. Nielzabub, Kumar has modified the communicator to lock on to Ryujin's frequency. Just hit the button and I'll transport.
We just got you back and you want to go back over there and...
It's okay. I know what I'm doing.
I can't do this by myself.
You did fine last episode. Besides, Kumar will be here. I have faith in you. You can do it. Please have some faith in me.
All right. Be safe.
What are you planning?
A fun trick I picked up from Dragon Ball. Fusion! Asti. Interesting plan. Very well, I'll go along for now.
No! Stop!
Let the contest commence.
I will not abide by this! I will...
You will do nothing. As a combination of both your partners, we are the only true, unbiased, and objective judge available. Yoink!
What?
As you were given power, it can be taken away. We allow you to keep only what is necessary for communication with the other world. We will hear both your arguments and decide who is the victor. There is no negotiation. Whatever we decide, you will agree to.
What? You're mostly Daijujin! This is rigged too!
It's okay, buddy. I'm still here. I'm rooting for you, so don't let me down.
Ryujin.
I'll come back, but Daijujin was right. This is the only way to be fair.
I don't need powers to crush you. Let's get this review started.
I guess we'll go ahead and begin with Power Rangers. We are now in the 5th and final part of the Green with Evil miniseries. We start off with the Rangers talking about the revelation they learned last episode about the Green Ranger's identity.
Which honestly should have been much easier for them to figure out.
Everyone knows that you're just me from an alternate dimension, so why are you still using that voice?
No one can see us in the review section. This is the only way they won't be confused about who's talking.
Fair point. The Rangers all come to the very logical conclusion that Tommy is under a magic spell of some kind, and resolve that they have to help him.
This would be stronger if Tommy had a relationship with the Rangers prior to this miniseries. He really should have been a minor character in the background that the Rangers befriend, but isn't very active in the main plot. Kind of like Bulk and Skull.
I completely agree. The Go-Go Power Rangers comic added in a character called Matt that was friends with the Rangers before they got their powers. Just by having him around for a couple of pages and hanging out with everyone makes his relationship to the characters feel real, which makes me care about him when he's in danger and in emotional distress. It would have been cool if they could have introduced Tommy a couple of episodes earlier, but not have him show off his martial arts skills till the first part of this miniseries to get Rita's attention.
The comics are pretty awesome. If only they would do something like that for the Sentai shows.
Well, if the Shout Factory DVD releases keep being successful, who knows? We can hope. While it could have been done better, I do at least find the scenario plausible, and it is logical for them to assume that no human would willingly work with Rita to conquer the Earth. So their desire to save Tommy is genuine. Kimberly decides to try and talk to Tommy at the youth center.
Not another Kimberly Tommy scene. How many of these are there?
This is the last one, and none of the sequences were that bad. Kimberly reveals that she knows he's the Green Ranger, and he reveals that he knows her identity.
Why is Kimberly shocked? Rita knows who they all are. Why does she assume Tommy didn't? Hell, the Green Ranger fought an unmorphed Jason in the Dark Dimension. He clearly knows who they are.
The Rangers are not great at figuring things out. There's nothing wrong with the scene, but Kimberly's reaction is a weird directorial decision. After that sequence is done, Rita decides to give the Green Ranger the Dragon Zord.
Why didn't she give it to him earlier when they were fighting the Megazord?
Sentai footage. Yes, it's dumb that Rita waited until now to give her Green Ranger a Zord, but Dragon Caesar isn't in most of the Sentai fight footage, so it just wasn't usable till now.
I can't wait to talk about Dragon Caesar's epic entrance.
You'll get your chance soon enough. The Green Ranger wreaks havoc in Angel Grove with the Dragon Zord, and he and the Rangers have their final epic showdown.
All of which is made entirely possible by Zyuranger footage. I'm just gonna point out that none of the cool stuff in these action sequences actually comes from Power Rangers. One of the big disadvantages Power Rangers has is that it can't use the Sentai footage that actually shows the negative effects monster attacks are having on the people and the city itself. Zordon might as well say, "Rangers, Rita's newest monster is being mean to Bulk and Skull. You must hurry!" They could have at least had the power go out or have collapsing debris in the youth center.
I agree, but this is one of the few episodes where they could actually use footage of the Zyurangers walking around a destroyed city, and it works really well. And it helps give Power Rangers that sense of the city is in danger that is missing from a lot of the episodes. The Rangers have to fight without their Zords, and not only are they unable to win, they are unable to keep the Dragon Zord from destroying the town around them. And it helps cement the idea that this is their greatest battle. And as all hope seems to be lost, Alpha is finally able to retrieve Zordon, who tells them how to break Rita's spell on Tommy and recover the Zords. I can't tell you how awesome Kid Me thought this part was. After 4 episodes of the Rangers constantly losing, they were finally winning, and it was awesome.
So Zordon is able to magically recreate the Zords or something? How does his presence bring them back?
It's not explained in the show, and logically it is flawed storytelling, but it works well on the dramatic level, which is the more important one, especially for a children's show. Kid Me didn't question how Zordon got the Zords working again. I just assumed that Zordon always had a means of restoring the Zords if they were destroyed, which he could use now that he was back. Armed with his Zord, Jason is ready to go toe-to-toe with the Dragon Zord.
Why? Why is Jason fighting by himself? In Zyuranger, they make it very clear that Tyranno wants to fight Dragon Caesar on his own, which is why none of the other Guardian Beasts are supporting him. There's literally no reason for Jason to go and...
Sentai fight footage. Zyuranger has the bulk of the fight with Dragon Caesar being just with Tyrannosaurus, so the editors, writers, and director just had to work with that. It makes sense, though. This isn't the first time Jason has fought solo in a Zord. Also, we have established a rivalry between Tommy and Jason with the tournament in the first part and the battle with Green Ranger in part 3. So again, while there is no direct explanation, it fits in the universe and makes sense on a dramatic level, so I don't see any problems.
Do you just not care at all about logic?
Most of the time people are complaining about the logic in a story, it's usually just nitpicking because they have issues with the story's emotional core but are unable to articulate their opinions. So they gravitate to the obvious surface details. I care about logic, but this is a show about teenagers fighting giant monsters and dinosaur robots.
Fair enough. I'm still gonna point out this, though.
Give it up, Tommy! No way!
What was JDF doing that was so important that they couldn't record him saying, "No way"?
I have no idea. Anyway, we get to our final battle, and Jason destroys the Sword of Darkness, freeing Tommy's mind and allowing him to become the Sixth Ranger.
And fulfilling a prophecy.
Finally, the prophecy has been fulfilled. The Sixth Ranger is now one of us.
Seriously, what's with that? I know Zordon was gone for most of the miniseries, but how did Alpha not know of a Sixth Ranger prophecy? What is even the point of that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Ha! You finally admit defeat.
No, I just concede that you are correct about that one point. It's a very small part of the episode, though, and doesn't represent it as a whole.
Stop trivializing my arguments!
Stop making trivial arguments, then. Tommy agrees to join them, and then...
Oh, I love this. Sentai likes to have its Rangers do their roll call after their transformation, but Power Rangers already had the Rangers call out their totems before the transformation, so they often have this extra footage to work around, and they just have the characters spout filler. One of the common criticisms of the show is how the villains stand around and let the Rangers pose and talk, and a lot of it is just that no one was willing to cut out the extraneous roll call footage.
As an adult, I agree that this is dumb, but I didn't mind it as a kid. In fact, these moments are a good opportunity for little snippets of character to shine through, which is always important for an ensemble show. The episode ends with Zordon revealing that the Rangers can make a new mecha formation, with the Dragon Zord, Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-Tooth Tiger. Because I guess, fuck the pterodactyl.
Pteranodon!
Fine, Pteranodon. The Pteranodon is left out in the cold because it's not important, I guess. But that's Zyuranger's fault, and we'll talk about that later.
And I'll be ready to fight you. Go Ryujin's the shit, and I'm not gonna let you talk trash on.
And that concludes the Green with Evil story arc. Before I started rewatching the series, this was one of the few storylines that I could clearly remember. It changed Power Rangers forever, and its effects can still be seen on the show today. Children's shows of the time mostly kept to the status quo. We knew what to expect each week, and while we did return to the formula we grew to love in the following episodes, having Tommy as part of the core cast now made it feel different. And as a kid, it was the first time I watched a show and realized that things that happened in an episode could affect future episodes. I think for kids of my age, this might have been our introduction to the concept of continuity. And while Power Rangers didn't do much with the potential of its continuity until in space, its effects could be felt here. And it's why I think this miniseries is so memorable, even for fans who only watched the show as children. Alright, Critic Ranger, it's your go.
Very well. This time I have no doubt that I will defeat you.
What will that accomplish?
What will it accomplish? I'll win, and prove to everyone that my opinion is right. Isn't that why you make your videos? To show everyone why you're right?
No. That isn't why I started this. I started the series because I wanted to. I wanted to share something I love with other people, and I wanted to be able to say why I loved it.
That's naive. The world of fandom is a world at war. If you aren't willing to fight, you shouldn't say anything at all.
That's a very sad way of looking at things. I wonder what the Zyurangers would think if they could hear you.
I love Sentai, and I'll do anything I can to protect it.
But Critic Ranger, I also...
We've wasted enough time. We open the fourth part of Barai's epic debut with the Zyurangers in despair over the death of Daijujin.
Are you actually going to do an in-depth analysis of this episode?
Well, I thought that was the whole point of this.
Let me sum up this episode for you. Zyurangers are sad. Barai betrays Bandora. Clotho shows up, tells Barai he has a limited amount of time to live. Clotho then gives Barai the Jusoken, which Barai uses to summon Dragon Caesar. Dragon Caesar wrecks everyone's shit. The end.
Okay, I can admit that not a lot happens in this episode, but what does happen is pretty important. I also really love the scene where Geki is trying to save a boy being crushed under rubble as Dragon Caesar rampages.
Yeah, that part was pretty cool. Zyuranger has a huge problem with shoved-in child characters that I've mentioned before in previous videos. This scene is one of the best scenes that involve a child in danger, and it's one of the shortest. There's some real peril and tension here because the "we need to save the children" section is only a small part of the episode rather than being the episode itself.
We also get introduced to Clotho in this episode, who is really important to the story of Zyuranger
and is a huge dick for no reason. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to just be the judge, but I really hate that guy.
Clotho feels mysterious and creepy. The voice actress Mayumi Sakai did a really good job of characterizing a pretentious child, and her voice, when combined with the perfect music, decent costume, and actual decent child acting, does create a memorable and chilling character.
Unfortunately, after viewing Zyuranger as a whole, all that really needs to be said of Clotho is that he's a dick.
Well, we're not talking about the entire arc of Zyuranger, just Barai's debut. And within the context of this storyline, he's a chilling and mysterious character who successfully moves the story forward by giving Barai access to his mecha.
The way that it's done here just feels really random. Why did Clotho wait until now to give Barai the Juzoken? Why didn't he do it the minute Barai woke up? I feel like it would have given more weight to Barai as a character if he was given all the valuable information about himself straight from the beginning. How about this? After his first fight with the Zyurangers, that's when Clotho takes him to the Lapless room, and it's revealed that Barai has a limited lifespan. Barai resolves that he will use whatever little time he has left to try and create his perfect world, or whatever. Or I guess get revenge for his father's death if you want to flesh that out. Then the audience from the beginning can at least admire his resolve, even if his motivations are still a little weak.
I prefer Dragon Caesar showing up at the end for the final battle, though. If he showed up too early, it kind of diminishes his grand entrance.
Okay then, how about this? There's a magical seal on Dragon Caesar that keeps Barai from activating him even with the Juzoken. Cut out all the crap with Helfried and taking over the world. The reason Barai allies with Bandora is that he needs Bandora to break the seal on Dragon Caesar. Bandora refuses to do this until Daijujin is destroyed, but after Daijujin is gone, she goes back on her word, which causes her and Barai to split. The Zyurangers and Barai are forced into a temporary alliance since with Daijujin gone, Dragon Caesar is at the moment the only means of fighting the Dora monsters, and shit, that would actually be kind of cool.
That is a pretty cool idea.
Is it vain to be flattered by a compliment that came from, essentially, me?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, I'll still take it.
Even though most of this episode is pretty pointless, the parts of it that stick out to me still make it worth it in my opinion.
If you say so. I still think they could have easily combined this episode with other episodes in the story arc.
Why? How are you able to keep doing this? How are you able to keep making me agree with some of the things that you are saying?
That's just how healthy arguments work. For what it's worth, you've made me rethink some things too. The best dialogues are where both parties learn something from each other. This isn't a classroom. I'm not your teacher, and you're not mine. We're peers.
You are not my peer. You are my enemy.
But hasn't this at least been a little fun?
You don't understand. I love Super Sentai, but not many people do. I have to fight for it, to protect it.
No, you don't. Go Ryujin told Daijujin a bit about your past. I know that Power Rangers and Super Sentai isn't a mainstream fandom and that it wasn't easy being a part of it. I know that you felt alone, but you don't have to. You don't have to keep fighting to justify your love of Sentai or Tokusatsu in general. You don't have to justify your love of any show or movie. Just love what you love and be sincere about it. And eventually, you'll find people that love what you do or just don't judge you for it. The people that are cruel or judgmental of your hobbies are generally people who don't have a healthy connection with their own media. Be it Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel, DC, etc. If you choose to fight all the time, you're not any better than your bullies.
Go Ryujin and I are gonna have a talk later. I'll make you see. I'll make them all see that what I love is great and deserves respect.
All right. Take it away with the final part of Zyuranger.
The epic finale begins right where the last episode left off. The Zyurangers stand there helpless as they watch Dragon Caesar fight Grifferzer and Lammy and put the city and the world in danger. When all hope seems lost, the guardian beasts reawaken.
Okay, let's hear the explanation on that one since you were so hard on the Zords coming back to life when Zordon returned in Power Rangers.
In Zyuranger, they actually explain the return of the guardian beasts. You see, because Daijujin runs on Gaiatron, he can...
Still sounds like a Transformer.
Well, magma is full of Gaiatron, and so Daijujin was healed instead of destroyed.
Lame. I prefer how they do it in Power Rangers. In Zyuranger, it just feels really cheap. Daijujin's dead. Nope, just kidding. It's true that there's really no reason for the Zords to come back when Zordon does, but Alpha had to work hard to bring Zordon back, and so his return and the return of the Zords was something that felt earned. In Zyuranger, no one did anything to bring back the Guardian Beasts, and so their return just doesn't feel as grand as it should.
But look at the Zyurangers when they see their Guardian Beasts again.
Yeah, the acting is really good, but like I said last episode, the relationship between the Zyurangers and the Guardian Beasts isn't really that well established, so I don't really care that they're happy. If the Zyurangers had actually done something or went through some terrible trial to bring back the Guardian Beasts, then this moment would mean something.
I still like it, and while the show didn't do a good job of building up a relationship between the Zyurangers and their Guardian Beasts, these last few episodes more than make up for it.
If you say so.
We then go into one of our most epic mecha battles yet.
Wait, the Zyurangers aren't even piloting the mecha.
Well, no. Ju Tyranno wants to fight Dragon Caesar alone. Geki also fights Burai alone, and the two battles mimic each other in a perfect poetic dance. At least Zyuranger explains why the Tyrannosaurus is fighting by itself.
Having an explanation doesn't make something better if the explanation is dumb. Even if they never outright said it, there was reason for Jason to want to fight Green Ranger alone. This sequence with the Guardian Beasts just raises more questions than it answers. If the Guardian Beasts and Daijujin can fight without the Zyurangers, then why don't they all the time?
I think we can't be at full power or something without our Ranger partners. I'm not entirely sure. I guess it's possible that we're just really lazy.
Everything about this is lazy. Zyuranger should have done what Power Rangers did. Have Geki say something like, "I'll fight Burai by myself," and then jump into Tyranno, disable Dragon Caesar, and force Burai into a battle on the ground. I get that the creative team behind the show was trying to do something artsy and symbolic with Tyranno and Caesar's fight reflecting what was going on with Burai and Geki, but it just doesn't work and is unnecessary.
Well, the final battle between Geki and Burai carries a lot more weight than Tommy and Jason. After finally defeating Burai, Daijujin tells Geki that he must murder him for the sake of justice.
When did Daijujin become so bloodthirsty?
Hey, we had just died and come back to life. We were cranky, probably still suffering a concussion or two. It was an off day.
Yeah, leave him alone. Geki is unable to kill his brother and decides to offer his life to Burai to quell the anger inside of him. This moves Burai to tears, allowing him to let go of his hatred and become the 6th member of the Zyurangers.
I know I'm supposed to feel something here, and I really want to. As always, the acting is actually really good, but it's just too little too late. This entire arc has just been Geki wrestling with not wanting to fight his brother versus his desire for justice. So having him give himself to Burai at the end just seems out of place and anticlimactic. This scene really only would have worked if Geki had started from a place of anger with a desire to bring his brother to justice, and then ended with him empathizing with his brother and deciding that he needed to be saved.
But Tommy being saved means nothing when he has no real relationships with any of the other characters.
It was still more built up and earned, though. We watched 5 episodes of the Rangers fighting one of their own because he wasn't in control of himself. And now that they finally have their mentor back, they're able to free him and make him part of the team where he belongs. When Burai does his emotional turn at the end, it just feels so random. He didn't show any signs of being conflicted with his feelings for Geki before all the other times Geki refused to fight him. Why is this moment so special? Instead of a satisfying catharsis to a character arc, it just feels like Burai spontaneously changes for no reason to move the plot along.
It is a little random, but I really like the ending. Burai goes back to the Laplace room and finds out that his time is indeed running out. He's finally made amends with his brother, but now he has only so little time to spend with him. It's a genuinely sad and moving scene.
Out of context with the rest of the episode, yeah, I like that scene, but it's the only scene in this entire 6-episode story where I feel anything for Burai, and that's a problem. We needed an emotional hook like this from the start, not at the end.
Yeah, but acting, brotherly love, sword, everything.
What's happening?
The power Goryujin gave him is only stable when he is calm. When he becomes emotionally unstable, his power becomes unstable.
Do something! Take his power away like you did before!
Taking away his power will not solve the problem. Only you can do that.
Okay, Critic Ranger, I need you to listen to me. I actually prefer Zyuranger over Power Rangers.
What? But all this time you've been talking about how Power Rangers...
There are things I think Power Rangers did better, but that doesn't mean I dislike or hate Zyuranger. Zyuranger has a number of issues, especially when it comes to integrating children into its storylines, and the whole Barai arc is just a mess. But there are reasons to like Zyuranger as well. On the surface, it has great choreography and still has some of the best mecha fights in Sentai, and the episodes that are good really do hit home in a surprising way. This show isn't really about which one is better. I don't really care about which one is better. I just like seeing how Power Rangers can use Sentai footage and become its own unique thing, and sometimes even transcend the source material.
But what's the point in making videos if you're not trying to prove how one thing is better than the other or how one adaptation is superior to the other?
Well, the truth is, I've never liked the mentality that the original is always better. It's an argument that comes up a lot when books are made into films, and I understand why fans of the books are frustrated when important things are changed. But while things are lost in translation, other things are gained too. A good example of this is Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. Overall, I would say that the book is superior to the miniseries in every way, and yes, I know the miniseries came first. But the miniseries had a crap budget, and Neil Gaiman has a very rich imagination. But just look at this scene where Islington reveals his true nature. This scene is not nearly as interesting in the book, and you just have to take Gaiman at his word that Islington looks demonic. But in the miniseries, the lighting changes, and Peter Capaldi just shifts from angelic to demonic, and it's just awesome. And even though it's just a small moment, it's still worth taking to heart. Even the worst adaptations usually have at least one thing they did better, and even if it's only one thing, it still deserves credit and recognition for that. I guess that's why I love looking at Power Rangers and Super Sentai. Overall, yeah, Super Sentai has better characters and more consistent and satisfying stories, but I still find it fascinating how Power Rangers takes Sentai footage and makes something completely new from it. It may have been made as a cheap way to sell toys, but they still accidentally made something artistic and worth exploring.
So, you like Sentai?
I love Sentai, and I love Power Rangers. I wouldn't talk so much about them if I didn't.
So, you're not trying to prove that Power Rangers is superior to Sentai?
When have I ever said that? No, I couldn't care less about which one is better. Chances are that if you're watching one of my videos, you already know which one you like the best, and I'm probably not going to change your mind.
Then, what's the point?
Because it's fun. Because it helps me understand something I love better and hopefully encourages other people to love and understand it more. You can't force people to feel the way you want them to. Just express your own feelings and hope that you've done it well enough to sway others.
Everything I've done has just been out of anger and hate, and I'm just so tired. I really should just stop making videos.
No, you should keep doing it.
What?
It's very clearly something you like to do, you've just been doing it for the wrong reasons. Take some time off, I agree with that decision, but don't give up on it. You're a smart person, and you have things worth saying and listening to. Just remember, this is supposed to be fun. Talking about this should be fun, and making videos about it should be fun. Never forget that, and you'll never forget yourself.
Nielzabub, murder him now for the sake of the universe.
What?
Sorry, we've been fused too long. It's causing some... I am never doing that again. Having no stomach and being shoulder pads really makes you hungry. You don't eat anything! Oh, yeah.
Go, Eugen. Look, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Here's your power back. Looks like your mind is cleared up a bit. Are you ready to go home and make a new video?
Yeah, I think I've got some new ideas. Look, I'm
sorry. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Look, in order to make a link between our worlds, I needed something from yours, so I really should keep it. It's okay, I can get another one. You'll need it if you want to stop by in the future and collaborate on another video. You want to do a video with me in the future? Yeah, so, feel free to drop in if there's anything you want to talk about. Yeah. Alright, let's go home, Go Ryujin. Well, that was a crazy time-consuming adventure.
Think we'll do another one anytime soon?
Hopefully not for a while. That one was exhausting. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. You did a good job there.
Do you think he'll be okay?
I don't know, but I imagine he's better than he's been in a long time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kumard, bring me the morpher.
What are you up to?
You did really good back there, even without me. But something like this might happen again in the future, and you should be given the means to handle it yourself. You've proven that I can trust you with some of my power. So here it goes. Careful, it's a bit unstable.
What is this?
I've turned it into the contrast buckler. Just transform like they do in the show.
Alright, let's do this. Contrast buckler! Really? This is all I get?
Baby steps. Besides, I think this suits you better than an overglorified Halloween costume, don't you think?
Yeah, I can dig it.
Are you excited for your next video?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I am. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, remember,
May the power protect
protect
you.
you.